Fill it up, would you please, Mr. Nye? Thank you very much. This car, with its distinctive grille and its smoothly rounded lines, somehow represents a whole era of French motoring. For years, it seems, French detectives pursued their prey in it. French ministers climbed elegantly out of the back seat in front of the Élysée Palace. It's as French, if you like, as a beret and a garlic breath. It's called the Citroen Avant. It was first produced by Citroen in 1934, designed by the young Bertoni, who joined Citroen just 2 years earlier. But it was so immensely popular, they went on producing it until the mid-50s. But its claim to be the car of the 30s doesn't simply rest on its sort of Gallic charm. In a decade that was laden with new ideas for the car, this car was described as a technical sensation. For a start, they dispensed completely with the chassis, and the strength of the car comes entirely in the modern manner from tough steel box sections welded together, in fact, a full monocoque, which made it easy to produce on the American-style mass production line that André Citroën introduced to France, but also made the car much lighter, in fact 25% lighter than contemporary equivalents, which gave it a sprightly performance for this size of engine, but also much better fuel economy. And fuel economy was important in those days because of the horrendous French taxes on petrol. They also gave the car a radical new suspension system. Instead of conventional springs, each wheel is sprung on its own horizontal torsion bar. Lighter again than springs, a more consistent performance, no running maintenance. And the ease and comfort of this car's ride was renowned right from the start, particularly on those bumpy country roads of which France has more than its fair share. But perhaps the most famous thing about the car, of course, is its traction avant, the front-wheel drive, the first production car to be given front-wheel drive for exactly the same reasons that make it popular today. In a small car, get rid of the transmission tunnel, push the engine forward, and you've got much more space for passengers and for luggage. And they enhance that by bolting the spare wheel onto the boot lid, which is so much a part of the personality of this car. So, three very radical developments, but they really worked, and this car never lost its appeal. Motoring journalists pre-war wrote about it in glowing terms, and one has to say it really is a delight to drive. The gear shift comes out of the fascia, which is somewhat novel, but you soon get used to it. It's got a beautifully marked gate, synchromesh in second and third, which makes it easy to use, and very forgiving ratios. They used to say about this car that acceptable speeds in top gear were anything between 6 and 60 miles an hour. The steering loads at low speeds are nothing short of immense. It's a real weightlifter's car, but to get the car moving, and the low CFG, the very wide track and the independent suspension really makes it very stable indeed. You can motor it around the corners without lifting your foot off. There's not so much as a roll. It really is very stable indeed. What else? Well, getting rid of the transmission tunnel gives you this beautifully flat floor. There's a real sense of roominess inside the car, lots of headroom, acres of room in the back. But the only things I don't like are those steering loads at low speeds and the foot pedals. They come out of the wall at a diabolical angle. They must have given rise to a whole generation of chauffeurs with aching ankles. But apart from that, a joy to look at and a real joy to drive. Only one other mass-produced car has had a longer lifespan than this one. That's another Citroen, the 2CV. But they've built this car for 23 years, 4 months and 15 days, and during that time, they built no less than 759,123 versions along this basic design. Even in the 50s, there were people who would buy nothing else. So however you look at it, a truly great car. The Citroen Traction Avant has a 1628cc engine. Its maximum speed is 61 miles an hour. Original cost £250, and its current value, well, Christie's quote £5,000 to £6,000. And finally this week, another import from across the water, namely the sport of tractor pulling. It's certainly full of sound and fury, but if you look at how far they actually get, you might add, it seems to signify not very much at all. Sue Baker went along to meet at Silverstone to see if that's really how it is.
Is this your idea of a good restaurant? Dog killer!
I'm sure the food is just fine.
New car, I'll take it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, kids. Oh, kids. Mm-hmm. Waitress.
What happened? What happened to your hair? You're sweating. Are you blushing?
Don't be silly.
Are you all right, Clark?
Hell yes, I'm fine. I'm having a ball.